Hey, everybody, welcome back to Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am your host, Bob Benham, and it is post Olympics time on the old podcast. And I have to say that I am happy as hell that the U.S. Olympic team, both men and women's teams, both took gold medals from the Team Canada. It feels good, let me tell you. The Team Canada, you got to give it to them. They are great hockey teams, but they are very arrogant. And for the U.S. to grab those gold medals and outplay them is absolutely awesome. Um, and I got to give a big shout out to the Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski, who he played outstanding in the Olympics. He was a huge contributor to the win and to getting the gold medal. In fact, he was the primary assist on the gold-winning goal scored by Jack Hughes, and he was huge on getting that goal. Yeah, it was just incredible what role he played in getting that goal for the United States. Um, and here, just to watch those hockey players when during the flag raising ceremony, every one of them were singing the national anthem. They had their arms around each other. It was a very moving moment, and I got to say that just was something that was historic. For them, it was they were playing also for Johnny Gaudreau, who was a Columbus Blue Jacket and was tragically killed almost 2 years ago by a drunk, allegedly drunk driver who killed Johnny and his brother as they were riding their bikes on the side of the road. I won't even get into what I think of that person. I hate calling him a person because I don't think he is one. But anyway, it was extremely. That was extreme. That's a tragedy. Okay, they overused that word, tragedy. There are true tragedies where somebody like what happened to Johnny and his brother, where they were just out riding their bikes, and some moron who's allegedly drunk driving, and he decides to pass a vehicle and ends up striking both of them at a high rate of speed and kills them. That's a true tragedy. That's exactly what that is. When you have one drug dealer killing another, that's not a tragedy. That's just the cost of doing business. there's no tragedy in that. When I was working on the police department, we did not see that as a tragedy. Um, you can't see that. You can't look at that as a tragedy. I'm sorry. That's just not a tragedy. Actually, I don't apologize for that. That's just not a tragedy. Um, everybody with the liberals want to say, "Well, that's a loss of a human life and stuff." You're right. It is, and it's sad that somebody was killed, but that's not a tragedy. These idiots. That's their cost of doing business. That's something to expect out of that whole thing. What do you what do you want out of it? They know what the hell they're doing. They don't care, and they don't care. I'm telling you the truth. They don't care. So this whole thing of, oh my gosh, it's a tragedy that this drug dealer killed another drug dealer. No, it's not a tragedy. It's not. Um, you know, it- I'm sorry. They overused the word, and they have in just like a lot of other things where they have made it where by overusing the word they have downgraded it to nothing. It doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean. And it's like what they've done with the word racism and um, all the just so many other words. It's just crazy what they have uh, just downgraded our language to. They've homophobic, all that garbage that they want to call conservatives so many things because they think they have the moral high ground that they know how everything should be and make everything so peaceful and so wonderful and blah blah blah, and they're really the snake in the tree tempting you to eat that apple. That's what the Democrats are. They're pure evil. And so, uh, don't believe a word they say because they lie all the time. And it's so easy to prove the lie. That's what kills me. It's so easy. And so, I mean, just give me a break. Give me a break, people. I mean, it's not that hard to sit there and go, really? Uh, I mean, that's it. I've got. I mean, I love it that everything they say about us, the conservatives, is, oh, it's just your talking points, blah, blah, blah. Oh, another Republican talking point, blah, blah. Well, what the hell do you think you're doing? You're, you, you've got more talking points than anybody. And all yours are lies. Every single damn one of them. And it's proven lies. It's not hard to sit there and say, um, well, that one's been debunked. That one's been debunked. It's not hard to sit there and go, um, where's the truth in that? And as soon as you ask them, as soon as you confront them on it and say, hey, no, they immediately go to name calling. Immediately. Oh, well, you're a racist. You're misogynistic. You're a bigot because they can't answer you. They cannot counter the truth. So they immediately do that. And they don't have even anything to back that up with. They have nothing. Nothing. They absolutely have nothing. They can they I love it when I read the articles on these libtard and stuff websites. It is it is the most amazing works of fiction I have ever seen because they will write, oh gosh, 10, 15 sentences to make a point um, on one thing, and then you're like, okay, well, took a lot to get to that point. That was a lot of stuff that was unnecessary and repetitive and whatever. So after they get to the point, then they write another 10 sentences to try to back up that point or reinforce it, and end up repeating themselves like 10, 15, more times. And it's like, really? Really? So, it's crazy um, how they just they they have nothing. They have nothing. They're creative writers, and I mean, when you, oh gosh, it's so funny too when you see these videos of them talking and the stupidity, the absolute stupidity. And these people are supposed to be college educated. Oh my God. Oh my God. It is it is truly sickening how they're I would not go. I couldn't go to college today. No way. No way. I'd be in these professors' faces on a daily basis. They'd hate me. I'd be expelled in a in a second. They'd be like, "You're out. No, you don't fit in here. You're gone." It's like when I was 18 years old in the seminary in the Catholic Church. Oh, you're too radical. You don't belong here. Huh? Okay, fine. You don't want me as a priest? And okay, I guess I am out of here. If I'm going to sit here and have to, you know, make church law stand taller than what Jesus taught and what God's law is, then I don't belong here. Because the church doesn't overrule God and Jesus. I mean, it's crazy where things have gone. And everything's a power struggle. The current church. I was hopeful for this new pope, and he's a lot like the one that just passed, and I did not like him at all. Oh, there was too much about him that was not good for the church. Definitely not good for the church. Um, and then he recently fired Cardinal Dolan, Timothy Dolan of New York. And when he did that, that's not a good sign because Cardinal Dolan, he he um, he knows what he's talking about. Very smart, very intelligent, um, and very connected to the people, very connected to reality, and very um, well versed in trying to help people with everything going on in the world. And when you listen to him, it, it he had a way of speaking and does have a way of speaking. He's still around. He's not dead, so I shouldn't say had, but he speaks so well to the point that you get drawn in, and he tells you and and tell you and can explain things to a point where you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. I fully understand. And I mean, it's not like, and it's, I don't, I'm trying to get it together here and I'm not doing a very good job of it, but he just has a way of making things make sense and make it also make sense with how it should integrate with the church and with the religion. And I was so upset when I heard that the Pope said, "You're gone." Oh, I was upset, and that told me everything I wanted to know about this Pope, and it wasn't good. And the bad part about it is what really upset me about it is the fact that the fact that he's also an American and should know better. But then again, he's part of the culture that's that left leaning culture. And he said a lot that's very disturbing that tells you that too. And that's just not good. So uh I'm just not I just there's just I'm a Catholic. I'm a Roman Catholic. And I I I believe in the Roman Catholic Church. I believe that is the one true church. I mean, this is the church that Jesus Christ set up. I just I just think that it went down the wrong road, like everything else. Like everything else, it's run by humans. Humans make mistakes. Um, and I mean, there's been how many times has the Catholic Church been on the wrong side of history over the last 2,000 years? And it's kind of in that period again. That's just my opinion of things on the Catholic Church. Um, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it except express what I think. Um, and I mean, I got a whole lot more I could talk about it. Uh, but I want to move on again about our wonderful hockey team because they uh, they just played outstanding. They were outstanding, and I was just reading an article about Nate McKinnon um, from Canada, and he was kind of very upset about losing, and I completely understand that. Um, but the Canadians are unfortunately um, they are pretty arrogant about their hockey because they think they believe that they created it and they're the uh, you know that all that and that they own it and that they should win everything. And he said that they outplayed the United States, that they believe the gold medal is theirs, and um, all that. Well, that's why they play the game. And yes, Canada outshot the United States. Yes, Canada kind of outplayed them, had the puck more, uh, and stuff like that. But the United States uh, had their had played very well defensively, um, and Connor Hollebuck was outstanding in the net as goaltender. Outstanding. Um, and so, I mean, he 41 saves on 42 shots. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Um, and there was one save that was made in the game that, um, yes, it was partial luck, but it was also uh, he knew where to go and what to do. Um, and he kept the puck out of the net. Um, it was an incredible. That game was incredible. Um, I've watched hockey for years and years and years. Um, and I can say that that game was one of the best I've seen. Um, it was back and forth. um, the USA, uh, I mean, yes, the Canadians had the puck more. The defense, the USA was on defense more than it was on offense, but they played defense right. Um, and they just knew and what to do when they got the break to get it down the ice. Um, and the fact that they um, were able to do what they did. I mean, they played hard. They Canada tied it up to get it to go. They thought that actually they thought they were going to win the game, but it ended up going to overtime. And when it went to overtime and it went to 3-on-3, um, I knew that's when the USA had their chance because 3-on-3 hockey, it changes the game a lot because 3-on-3 opens the ice up big time. And you have it where you can just make more moves. You can like when you can strip up the puck away from somebody a little easier, and when you do, you've got room to skate to get away. And you can make those long passes a lot easier because you don't have a guy that's going to probably come in and steal it or intercept it, um, or just knock it wherever. So it was one of those things that's it's cool to watch them go 3-on-3. Um, and when Zach Werenski's one of the best on 3-on-3, when he gets out there and goes um, 3-on-3, he is fun to watch. And I've had the privilege of watching him on 3-on-3 for God, years. And he's very good at getting his stick on the guy he's covering to strip the puck away and take off, or just strip the puck away and get back to the Jackets' own zone to slow things down a bit to be able to set up something for them to be able to take it down, make a run at the offensive zone, and maybe set something up. It's just it's an incredible thing to watch when he's out there. A couple years ago, he had he had shoulder surgery and he missed a lot of time, and then he came back, and he just wasn't himself, and played. Oh, he just wasn't very play very well, and it took a while for him to kind of come back to where he was. And but last season and this season, he's playing uh, as good as he should be playing, and he's playing um, like he did um, when I saw him start playing in the NHL, and he's actually playing better than I've ever seen him play. Um, I don't know what I've heard what he's done to make himself better, and how he's worked out in the summertime and stuff like that, and what he's done to make himself a better player. And I'm telling you what, he's done it right. He really has. Um, I just it's stunning. It really is what he's done. Um, he's definitely a candidate for the Norris Trophy for this year, and I would say if it were me and I had a way to vote for it, he should win it. I thought he should have won it last year, um, but for whatever reason, he didn't get it. Um, but this year, I didn't. It was one of those things. It's like watching him last year. I was watching him going, how could he get any better than what he is now? But he is somehow he is. Um, he's just I, he is so good this year, and he is so good at leading the guys in the locker room with the Blue Jackets. Um, and not to take anything away from Boone Jenner, but he's missed a lot. He's been injured a lot, missed a lot of ice time, and it it to me it would just make sense to give the C to Zach, uh, and let him be the captain of the team, just because he's hasn't been hurt as much, as good as he's playing, and as well as he's leading the team and stuff like that. It's just something that I personally I believe that Zach should be wearing the C. Um, that's just something I feel, and but anyway, just about another day or two, and the NHL season will be starting back up. And now it's the race for the playoffs for the Stanley Cup. Um, they only have what's about 6 short weeks till that starts up, and so the race will really be going and tightening up. Um, the Eastern Conference is just a mad scramble. It is so tight. I mean, there's just the number of points between these teams is is very, very. Um, it's crazy how tight it is. I mean, you were talking 7 points between, or fewer between being out of a playoff position and being basically at the top of the division. Um, Crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, 7 points is nothing. Uh, that's 3 games, 4 games of winning, losing either way. Um, that's tight. Um, Hopefully, I mean, of course, with me being a Blue Jackets fan, I'd like to see them get in this year. It's been a while again, and they haven't been in the playoffs very much in their history. For some reason, they've just been doomed. But it would be nice to see them get in and make a run. They've got here lately. They've been on a winning streak. It's been nice to see. And I'm excited. I mean, me right now. I don't seem like I'm that excited, but I am. I'm excited. I like to see them get to where they make the playoffs for once, and see what they can do. I really would like to see what they can do, because I think this team has gelled very well, and they are definitely playing for each other. You can see that, and when they talk about each other, you can see the respect and how the camaraderie is there within the team, and that's just it's something special. You don't see that very often. So hopefully it pulls together and works out for them. That's what I'm hoping for. That that's just where I am with my hockey. Let's see. In NASCAR, I don't know. I'm glad the rule change has been made for the point system. That has been a huge thorn in their side for the last few years, doing this playoff system where you eliminate teams and drivers, and after so many races, so 3 get eliminated, and so then 3 more, or whatever it was, and or no, it was 4. I'm sorry. But now they take the top 16 and they reset their points, so that way those past 17th and beyond can't possibly catch them. And then those top 16 race for the championship. Historically, if you're sixth and back in points, you really don't have a shot at the championship. It's just a lot of points to make up, and it just doesn't quite happen. Um, but with this points reset that they're supposed to do, um, I guess you're gonna have a little bit of a shot. I'm not sure exactly. I have to read up again on what the points reset is, um, and how they're going to do that. Um, so far, the first two races of the season, Daytona for me was boring. That was not a good race. I don't care what the announcers said. I don't care what the media said. That race was boring and horrific. Um, to have three Toyotas out front basically blocking the racetrack and running at half throttle to force everybody into gas saving mode looked bad. It looked really, really bad. You're supposed to be racing. And to slow the field down to 170 miles an hour at a track where you're supposed to be running close to 200 miles an hour, it looked like those cars were crawling. I mean, it was agonizing. 30 miles an hour slower is just horrible. I mean, it was just I was and then the announcers were trying to make it sound so good. And it's like it was, oh, this is exciting, and look, they're three wide and blah blah blah. No, it wasn't. It was not. I mean, I was falling asleep. I was actually dozing off while that was going on. It was just that bad. There was no way it should have gone on like that. And NASCAR, I'm sorry. I don't know. How do you stop it? I don't know. I really don't know, because they're going to do it anyway. It used to be you ran hard, period. It's like Mark Martin said, his record of when he ran Talladega in that caution-free race, and it was over 188 miles an hour average speed from green to checkers with no cautions. And that included all the pit stops, and the average 188 miles per hour, over 188 miles per hour. That record will never be broken. Never be broken. Because NASCAR is too intent on keeping these cars slow, um, that yeah, it will never be broken because the cars don't have the horsepower to ever get to that speed, um, and to run that fast for that long, and especially with these stupid stage breaks and all that crap, they will never ever break that record. Mark Martin's got that one forever. Um, and I watched that race, by the way. That was an incredible race. I mean, to watch. I was also at another. I was personally at a race at Talladega where it went caution free, and to watch those guys stay in a three wide pack basically for that 188 laps. It was it was a thing of beauty. It really was, because to watch them still try to jockey for position, even though they were three wide, it was intense. I mean, I was sitting in my seat, and I was actually, I mean, I was wringing my hands, and I was like, ooh, my teeth were clenched, my jaw was tight, and I'm like, man, this is just, oh, because you were like, I mean, it was your own adrenaline was going. You were just nervous for these guys because they were so close together, and you kept thinking something's going to happen, something big is going to happen, and you just kept waiting for it. You kept thinking it. How are they? There's no way they can do this for 500 miles. It can't. There's no way this can happen for 500 miles. And they were able to do it for 500 miles. From the time the green flag came out to the time that checkered flag flew, they were able to do it. And after it was all said and done, and I'm walking back to my RV, I had a headache like you wouldn't believe, because I was so tensed up and just on edge that whole race watching them. And of course, I had my headset on, listening to the scanner and listening to the different drivers and stuff, and I'm listening to what they were talking, saying to their crews, and listening to the spotters. Two inside, one inside your middle, or you got two outside, and so and so's pushing you, and I mean, and this is going on 3 rows ahead, and it was like the whole time. I mean, it was just really insane. Um, and these spotters, they're constantly talking to the drivers. It's always, this is going on. This is who's pushing you. This is who's, doing whatever, and all that stuff. And they have different channels that they talk on for the strategy of the race. Everything used to be done just on one channel, which made it, you knew what was going on. You knew what the teams were doing. You knew what they were going to do on their next pit stop because they talked about it. Now it's not that way. It's so because they don't want other teams to hear what they're doing. Although they know what they're doing. They're watching it on their computer screens. They got all these computer screens everywhere. The data is being fed to them by NASCAR for every car that's on the racetrack. So everybody knows what everybody's doing. So why try to hide what you're doing? It doesn't make any sense. They're going to figure it out anyway. As soon as you go back out on the racetrack, they're going to go, oh, well, they did this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, and these cars, they need to go back to steel-bodied cars badly. They need to keep these idiots from smacking into each other badly, really badly, because they don't care. They don't care about just ramming into each other and everything else, because the bodies are not steel. And they don't care about hitting each other. It doesn't hurt the car. And so they need to just get something back, go back to the steel bodies, so that way when they pound these fenders in, there's consequences. It knocks it into the tire, cuts the tire down, and hey, time to go to pit road and get it fixed, get it pounded back out, and it takes time. They get knocked down a lap or two. You know, something that there's a consequence to their actions. Now there's no consequences to what their actions. They can do whatever they want, and it doesn't hurt them. They just go out there and keep doing it. So hey, it doesn't matter what happens. They need to have a consequence of their actions, and it'll knock these dumb. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 drivers out there that just don't give a rat's patootie about what they do. None. They just get out there and whack the heck out of the guy in front of them, knock him out of the way, whatever. Doesn't matter. And it is. I don't like racing. I mean, I get that they're going to have the bad guys of the racing. Dale Earnhardt was that way, and people loved it. I mean, yes, you're going to have your bad guy. No big deal. Understand it. Got it. Happens at your short tracks all across the United States. No problem. Got it. Because I was involved in it when I was racing. But a lot of people like it when a guy passes somebody clean. He's got the car. He gets up on the guy. He's able to pass him clean. Yeah, okay, he might make him wiggle a little bit because he takes the air off his rear spoiler so he can, get him to wiggle, and then he moves up a little bit, and okay, I can get him now. I can dive underneath him. But he doesn't wreck him. He doesn't hit him. That's clean racing. This just hitting the hell out of everybody just does not work for me. I get people like to see crashes. I get it. But it gets old. It gets old. When you're watching this stuff for 36 weeks, and every time you turn around, there's a crash, it's old. I want to see them run green. I want to see it. I want to see them racing for stuff actually racing for position, not just getting it by default because they crashed out half the field. That's not racing. So anyway, I have been busy with getting some opinions from other people, mostly libtards. I've been actually downloading their opinions, and I am thinking about just kind of sitting here with their opinions and kind of doing a read and reading their what they got wrote and responding to it, and so you can kind of hear what they say or hear what they wrote and how crazy it is, and giving you a good idea of it, and just what is wrong with it, what is totally wrong with it, and why they're wrong. Maybe doing something like that. I don't know. Or maybe just sticking with keeping up with the sports world at this point with the hockey and NASCAR, and going with that, because I have had it with this crap going on and with politics. I mean, these Democrats are out of their minds. They're literally communists, and evil in every way possible. And I've even I don't know. I just can't. I'm to the point I just can't even talk about them anymore, because they're just so far out there. And they're just so it's dumbfounding. It's just pure dumbfounding what they say, what they do, what they how they handle themselves. I mean, it's not hard to spot one, because their hair is all this different colors. They got freaking piercings in their nose and their lips, and tattoos out the yin yang. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of conservatives that have tattoos, but the libtards have them on their face, and it's with "FU" on it, and all this. I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of what they stand for. They stand for pure evil. They want the Muslims in this country. They want they hate America. They hate the United States. They hate our Constitution. They don't live by their oath when they get sworn in to office, and that makes me mad. And it makes me really mad. And I'm right now I can't even talk about it because I get too mad. So, for time being, we're probably just going to kind of talk about other stuff. Like today, talking about USA Hockey and NASCAR. And just kind of chill out for a while. So, anyway, please take care of yourselves, stay vigilant, watch out for yourself, be aware of your surroundings, keep your nose out of your phone when you're out and about, because there are bad people. And trust me, there's a lot of bad people out there right now. Um, keep aware of where you are. Know where you are. Know who's around. And beware. Help others. Make sure that you can help somebody if they need it. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you to the men's and women's U.S. hockey teams for standing up and working hard and winning that gold medal for the United States at the Olympic Games. It means a lot to a lot of people in this country. It means more than you probably realize. We appreciate your hard work and your dedication and being the teams that you were and sticking together and working hard for it. And this is something that we really appreciate, that both of you, your teams, came together and won for us. For us. We know what you did it for. Not only yourselves, but for us, this country. Take care. And until next time, this has been Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. And I am Bob Benham, in case you didn't know that already. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.